What's up all flight simmers, it's Ole here, back with another P3D video. Today we are doing another long haul, and today I have brought us to London Heathrow, in this foggy and cold London Heathrow. And in front of us is a beautiful 777-200. It's a Golf Mike Hotel, the pan delivery, British Airways of course. We are today doing Speedbird 49er here from London Heathrow to Seattle-Tacoma in the US. Obviously you can see I have dropped or skipped the traffic today. I removed UTLive from my system and went back to Spy, but I obviously won't use that now. As you can see, the frames are incredible right now, so we will stick to that. I've also changed my PTA preset now, so now I'm starting to use PTA again, using Robin and Dean's preset 1.5. Tip-top preset out there, really recommend that. If you want to find it, just head over to the P3D V3 and V4 group and you will find it there pretty fast. Right, a little bit about the flight today. We are expecting a flight time of roughly 8 to 9 hours, and we are taking around, let's see if I can now find my flight plan. Here it is. We are only taking 97 passengers today, according to PFBX, but we are having lots of cargo. And that gives us a zero fuel weight of 197.9 today, so it's not that much, but hey ho. We will be departing out of 27 right today on the Woburn 3 Foxtrot departure. Then we will head over across Ireland and then across the sea, over Canada and then down to Seattle. And I've planned for a 16 center arrival on the Glacier 1 arrival. So we will definitely fly over Seattle City with a new add-on it's been out for a while now, but the new Seattle-X by Josufsky, if I say that right, the city center. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a great flight. We will start our initial cruise at 340. And then we will definitely do some step climbs to 360, 380, and then we will obviously head down towards Seattle. PFX has suggested that we have a 67 tons of fuel on release, so I'll just run that up to 70,000, and that gives us a little bit over 10 hours of fuel time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, without any further ado, let's jump into the flight deck and start prepping. Welcome to the flight deck. It's pretty untouched. I've already started the AIRACs, armed the emergency lights on with the service interphone. We have both external powers on, and we have both packs to auto, so that now we can just leave it as it is. And then of course, seatbelt signs off for the fueling. So, what I want to do now first is just head over to the checklist, and we will see that our oxygen is working on both sides. Normally I won't do that. They are working 100%. I think there's something behind here as well. I am not sure. There it is. Awesome. So that is checked. Flight instruments are reading correctly. We will hit the parking brake. That's the pre-flight checklist complete. So let's start heading into the FNCs and start entering our weights and stuff. So FS actions, payload, and as I said in the some minutes or seconds back, we will have a 197.7 even. Gives a load level of 78.5%, so not fully loaded. I guess these flights go pretty fully packed on such a long route. And as I said, rounded up to 70,000 kilos, like so. That's the page here done. I will not bother with GSX today because GSX is suffering from a SimConnect issue. That when you start GSX, it just picks a random animation, if you will. So just for the just so it won't look that stupid here on the video, we will ditch GSX today. So then we can actually just close all the doors. So that's done. Just wait for this one so we can arm it. There you go. Right. Okay, let's start setting up the aircraft. So FMC. We have the correct air nav data, 1803, just came out 2 days ago. It's the 3rd of March today. We are at Echo Golf Lima Lima Heathrow, and we are at stand 547 here at Terminal 5. Then we will just grab that position and slub it in there, if you will. Right, and before we go on, I just want to check that our altimeters are correctly refreshed. Yes, 992 HPA. We have made a company route, obviously. 777 EGLL KSEA request. And as I said, we are British Airways 49er, and we have a planned departure out of 27 right today on the Woburn 3 Foxtrot. So now that uplink is ready, we will start uploading this one. We can enter Speedbird 49er here for our flight number if you would like to. No? Okay. Probably just have to. There we go. British Airways or Speedbird 49er, and as I said, 27 right. Activate that, and remember to copy it in case we mess it up. 27 right, and we are doing Woburn 3 Foxtrot. Just straight ahead, and then a right-hand turn, and then up to 6,000 initially. That's the start of the check or the FMC done. Now we will request the perf init, and hopefully we will have 340 as our first altitude. And once that is gone, we can start setting up a VBA here. So we have Golf Yankee Mike Hotel and 340, yes, and then all here's the route, all copied in here, ready to go. So here's how it looks. Really recommend it. Really nice, really easy. A great counterpart to BAV, which is also another British Airways virtual. But yeah, so just click start, and now it will start logging our flight. Nice. So yes, here we are. Gross weights: fuel 70, zero fuel weight 197.7, 7.2 reserves, 340, and then obviously step climbing further on. Accept it. Thrust limits. Since we are quite light today, I will probably do a 50% or 50 degree even takeoff with flap 5, and then 33% there, and then 164. I was watching a stream someday, and I heard they say that the 777-200s for British Airways use flap 5, and the 300s use flap 15, but I might be wrong. So if you know the answer, please comment in the comment section, as I do not know all the procedures and and the SOPs even. So that's there. We got a trim of 325, and we got 155, 159, and 164 for the speeds. Let's start setting up the let's call it the autopilot panel. I'm not sure it has another name. Order VRL needles up, map on there, zoom it all in there, traffic data, and I would like weather here. Take on the flight right, left flight director even. We had a speed of 164 as our V2, arm VNav and LNav, and we already have the heading here, so it's 270. And we are not on VATSIM or flying anything online, so we can just go straight up to cruise. 340. right flight director on, and then do the same here. There, traffic, data, and terrain. And we will do RTO. Okay, that's pretty much everything set up here. So let's then run through the before start checklist. So we lock the doors. We can now start the seat belts, and I'll also start all the pumps, so we can hit the APU starter. Right, next is MCP. We have a V2 speed of 164. We have a heading or track for 270, and altitude is 340. Takeoff speeds, we have a V1 of 155, VR of 159er, and V2 of 164. CDU preflight is completed, and we can now go ahead and start, no, that's not the right one, start the hydraulic panel. So it starts from on the right hand side, right elec auto. Wait for it to go out. Then it's the left elec auto, and the same here. Wait for it to go out. Then the C1 elec to on, and wait for it to go out. Then the right one here. Like so. And then from left to right in the middle here. Wonderful. So the trim is going to be set at 3.25, and let's have a look at the taxi briefing for our route here. So we are here at Terminal 5 Bravo 547, 47, yes. If you go to airport charts, so we are here. We're gonna take out here and then face this way, go down here onto Charlie, then we will head over to Alpha, all the way down to Alpha 3, hold there, and then shoom, we are out of here from 27 right. Pretty easy taxi. Wonderful. Now we are actually just ready, so now we're just waiting for the APU to start up, and it is. Now I also realize we have a center amount of fuel. You can put all on this to auto, remove the primary external powers. Just make sure they are all running. Yes, they are. So not get split IRS, which I always manage to do. Quick check now. All the doors are closed. Wonderful. And all the stuff on the ground is removed. Wonderful. Okay, guys, then we are actually ready to go. As I said, I will not use GSX today, unfortunately. It will look a bit stupid, but it's a little bit bugged out at the moment, so we will try to keep it classy instead. So yeah, let's remove the jetway, and we will start the beacon, which is the last point on this start checklist. Nice, it's complete. Okay, wonderful. So this one is now starting to remove from our airplane, and we can start pushing back. So parking brake off, and then shift P, the original one. Starting the right hand lock. And now we can also hear the VBA in the background. Okay, let's start engine number 2. Take the start ignition to start. Wait for it to buzz up a little bit. And enter the fuel.
You'll find the seatbelt sign in the panel above your head. When it's on, you must fasten your seatbelt. We'll provide extension seatbelt for instance. We suggest you keep your seatbelt fastened and visible during our flight.
Listening to those GE90s spool up. Beautiful sounds, beautiful sounds. And as this one ticks out, we can also start number 1. I heard a tick out. Yes. Wait for the N1 to spool up. And we can actually just stop here. Parking makes it. And fuel it. See, the number 2 now is coming, no, number 1 is coming up, and the number 2 has stabilized. Beautiful. Always very, very nice to start up the 777. It's quite easy and very painless. Tick out on there. Wonderful. So they both engines have started completely and perfectly. So let's start with the before taxi checklist. Anti-ice is not required. There's 1 degree outside. We have the recall checked, AURBX set to RTO, flight controls. Let's bring out the HOTAS, the mighty HOTAS even. And then we shall move over to here, flight controls. Then we will do a full left, neutral, full right, neutral, full back, neutral, full forward, and neutral. Then we will do rudder, full right, neutral, full left, neutral, and then last but not least, speed brakes. Full up and full down. That's the flight control checks. And the ground equipment is obviously not here today, so I don't miss you, GSX, I don't. That's the before taxi checklist complete. Next is before takeoff, so we can do that quickly now before we start taxiing. Flap 5, and let's bring out the trim. So we're probably almost set there. There we go, 3, 2, 5. Quick swipe through the views. Okay, wonderful. Then we are actually ready to taxi. Flaps are set 5, so the before takeoff checklist is complete. So now we need to do runway turnoffs, taxi lights, and I would actually like to have the logo lights on just in case. And now that the engines are running, we can take off the APU and we can start taxiing. Parking brake off, a little bit power. And we are going to Seattle. See you later. So now we are going down here on Charlie. Crossing over and not going on Bravo, which is the one here. Not taxi so fast, Ole. Not so fast, it's not a race car. Then we go left, no, sorry, right here on Alpha even. And while we are now straightening up here and going all the way down here on in the fog, we shall start the, or take the TCAS to on. There we go. Let's take the fuel page here. So as you probably know enough by now, England and or the UK and Ireland even has been struck by loads of snow, and obviously these countries don't have this large amount of snow, so it's actually quite interesting to see how these countries that don't have that much snow handle it. And it's actually quite impressive how Heathrow has just continued to stay open even with all these delays and stuff. It's really remarkable. Obviously, as a Norwegian, I think it's hilarious that they think minus 10 degrees is cold, but I mean, I'm used to that cold. I mean, when I'm up in my cottage in the mountains in Norway, the temperature is like minus 30 degrees, and we don't care really. It is cold, obviously, but it's like, yeah, it's something that we are quite used to. So it's actually quite impressive, all the just all the manpower and all the machines that you have, that you need in order to make or to maintain such operation that you need here at Heathrow. So it's really cool. I'm actually heading to Heathrow now in a couple of days. I am going to visit my best friend who is studying in London. So obviously I'm going through Heathrow with Scandinavian Airlines. So I'm looking very much forward to it, and hopefully I am crossing my fingers that it won't get delayed or cancelled or whatever reason it could be. So yeah. I must say there's obviously quite empty here without all of the planes, but there's just that's the problem I have with UCL Live. The models for UCL Live are just so ugly and so outdated. That's the word I like to use. And also I thought at first that UCL Live was actually live, as in the name, but it's actually just live schedules. So for example, if say a Norwegian flight from London to Oslo had a flight yesterday, then the program will use that schedule and then inject it into the sim instead. I was really just stumbled across it because I was looking at Heathrow one day when I spawned in the sim, and I just couldn't see like the planes used the wrong runways and all. Like, what is this add-on doing? And then I realized it was scheduled. But that doesn't mean that Spy is better. They have better models. They have a lot better like mechanism when it comes to taxiing and just pure easy behavior. But I've come across sometimes when the planes actually, first of all they take off from the wrong runway from what is used in real life. Obviously you can't have it that correct. Then you need PSX Econ. But what I also found out is that if there's one plane coming in, say on 27 right, there's also sometimes a plane coming on the opposite side of the runway, on 09 left, and then they are coming in together. And I just don't understand the like that. I don't know. I just don't understand that method of thinking. Like, how have they designed this piece of traffic to be that dumb? And also, I also experienced upon landing, or like on the finals, and when I'm then flying the arrival star, I will suddenly have a TCAS warning, like TCAS warning, traffic, and then like I look behind me and then I see like a big plane cutting me off, doing the same approach, or like the same arrival, and I'm like, what is this? And then they obviously don't have this limit of seeing other planes. So they, like, if you for example taxi, they don't hold for you, they just go straight through you, even though you have the right way or are the bigger plane or whatever reason. Just find it really funny that they just don't work at all. So I've just decided to not use it. Just however the sim looks a little bit empty or like alone, but just the whole flow of the FPS and the way you fly and like move on the ground is just way better. And as you can see now, the frames are actually quite good. I'm really happy with the frames now here at Heathrow. Obviously we could have taken the FS Labs out there and seen if it's actually not that bad with the FS Labs either, but immediately when you take on the traffic, it just gets it just destroys the FPS. Okay, enough dry talking. You probably went to some other page looking for something way more funnier than this. What I'm going to do now is we're actually going to get off here at this holding point here, which is Alpha 4. And since we don't have any traffic, we can just line up here. Take on the landing lights, strobes, and I don't know how do we take all possible lights today. Left is right, right is no, left is correct. No, okay, one more time. Left is clear and right is clear. It's probably right is clear and then left is clear and then right. I've remember learning that from the kindergarten when you were about to walk over the road. Okay, line up. We should have plenty of runway. We aren't that heavy today, even though we can't see the part of the runway. Okay, so we've already done the before takeoff checklist, so we are actually quite ready to go. So all the lights are on, passenger are on, and we have RTO on. So let's start our captain's clock, and let's start heading towards Seattle. Spool up the engines to around 40%. And then we hit the magic button in the PMDG toga. That's the airspeed live. That's 80 knots, checked. Going into the fog, not seeing anything, that's quite cool.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
V2.
And we are airborne. Positive climb, gear up. And now we actually have to take on the autopilot straight away because we can't see anything. And that was Heathrow. Bye, 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 bye. So now we obviously don't see anything, so we have to fly on LNAV and VNAV right out of the departure. So we will now start climbing, and then we all obviously have restrictions here in London for all the departures. So here we have the 6,000 limit at Vauban. So the plane will probably start heading towards that point at that altitude. And as we now are speeding up to 240, we can start taking up the flaps very soon. Right about now, just take up all the flaps. Nothing much to see here today, so I do apologize for that, but that's how the live weather are right now. So enjoy the fog, I guess. Okay, let's do the after takeoff checklist. Get that out of the way. Landing gears up, checked, and the flaps are up. Checked, that was pretty quick. Then we won't go back to the checklist page before the descent in around 8 hours. Now, normally we would definitely fly this SID according to the book, or like do it exactly as it is. But obviously I'm lazy, and obviously you will get vectored out. So what I will want to do now is just go direct to DTY, to Delta Tango Yankee. That's what I was trying to say. So now the plane will just go straight for that, and we won't have to deal with any altitude restrictions. As you can see, we see some blue skies ahead. Just adjust the needles a bit. I am using Max Skyforce today. Brilliant add-on together with AS16. The Skyforce preset I'm using is also from Robin and Dean. I think it's Robin and Dean's, or R&D's preset 1.5. You find it in the themes section on their page, or on the theme page on the Skyforce application. Okay, we are now approaching 10,000 feet. Just 1,000 to go now, pretty soon. I will take off the passenger sides pretty soon. And yeah, we should just start climbing and then starting our cruise at 340. I'll spare you for that. It's not pretty much nothing to see on the on there. We can take off the landing lights, the turn-offs, taxi, and logo. Okay, while the cabin manager there in the background talks about the welcoming for all the passengers, this is where I leave you for now. If you've stuck with me this far, then congratulations. Hope you are still enjoying it. And then we will do some cruising, and then we will start our descent down to Seattle-Tacoma in about 8-9 hours ish. So then I will see you right there. What's up, flight simmers? Welcome back to the flight deck. We've been flying now for around 9 hours, or 8:50 as you can see on the clock there. And now we are actually starting our descent towards Seattle. I've set up the FMC now. We have put in the arrival for 16 center, Glacier 1. That's the star. And I've set my first waypoint to focus at. That is at 12,000 feet at Jackson. I've run through the checklist and are actually quite close to finishing. So we have come to our... We have set that the VREFs are set for 141 +5 and 25 degrees of flaps. And the minimums are, according to the charts, 530 for the ILS runway. So we'll set that here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now switched on the fasten seatbelt signs or shortly be heading into London Heathrow Terminal 5. Please now return to your seats and make sure that all your personal are safely secured near the middle of the door on the seat. Customers sitting in a front row seat or on a hand emergency exit row should place all loose items into the overhead lockers, leaving the floor area around your seat completely clear. Please check that your table is folded away, your seat is in a landing position with the armrest down and your seatbelt is securely fastened. You may continue to use handheld electronic devices for landing. These must be held securely or placed into pockets. Larger items, however, including laptops, must now be switched off and stowed away safely. Please also take a moment to remind yourself of your nearest exit. Thank you.
Right. So that's the landing there checked, and the approach briefing is quite simple. That's the descent checklist complete. So what we are aiming for here is, if you go to the stars page, and here's the Glacier 1. So it's quite easy actually. Here's the airport down here at the Seattle VOR. So we are coming from here, down Glacier, then down here, down there, and then straight in. And here we are on the 16 center arrival, or the ILS. These courses here, or the frequencies, will be handled automatically by the plane. We will hit the glide slope at Sodo at 1900 feet, so that's there. That's directly over the Boeing field. That's cool. And we are using this one today, so 530 is the decision altitude, and that is good enough for our I-port elevation of 433. In terms of missed approach, if we happen to float it or just don't make the runway, we will do missed approach. Then we will climb on the heading of 160, so just 4 degrees difference from the runway heading. Up on the Seattle VOR, then over to Romeo 161 to cross Tedbne, yeah, all of this, at or below 2,000 feet. Then climb to 5,000, up onto this VOR, to this one, and hold, and continue to climb in to hold at 5,000. So 5,000 is our last altitude fix there, so that is what we will set on finals. So here's how it looks, coming on Magnum, Anvil, and then Sodo at 1900 feet. So that's the last waypoint we will focus at. And the runway heading is 164. Awesome. Yes. I can't remember if what ORBX region is powering this part of the country. I have all the Alaska sceneries and Southern California, but I'm not sure if they are like, there's a little gap between that Seattle and Vancouver has. But I think it is either Pacific Fjords, Pacific Northwest. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm using here, as you can see. Looks quite brilliant, to be honest, and really a big fan of the ORBX products. Now, talking about mountains, I just want to be sure that we won't go into any mountains, but it looks like there are no there's no real restrictions here. So yeah, Anvil 3,200 and Sodo at 1,900. So you should just aim for Jackson right here, and then I should actually be that lazy just to aim for yeah, let's do 3,200 then, and then it will probably automatically do it itself. Well, that happens sometimes, that the sim freezes for a bit. Okay, I will get back to you once we've passed Jackson. That's when we have to start focusing for real when approaching 10,000 feet. So I will see you quite shortly. Alright, welcome back again. We are now approaching 10,000 feet. So we will start to do some light preparations. Right. We'll set now back to inches, so it's 29.81. We are now inbound Woody, and then I have done some cheating, if that's a word. Now we're going from Woody direct to Anvil. So now we are aiming here, as you can see, for 3,200 at Anvil. And then we will probably manually just go down to 1,900 at Sodo, and then hopefully we will catch the glide slope and we will fly the ILS approach. Then hopefully the visibility looks quite nice today, so I'm hoping to make a manual landing, so you can see how poor I am at flying. But if not, we have the autoland in our hands. We have also put on the passenger shuttles now. Speed brakes are armed, and the outer brake is set to 1, as I said before. That also makes us able to complete the approach checklist. And obviously the landing one is when we take out the gear and stuff, but that's not before we go to the glide slope. It's probably freezing a bit now, since we are approaching such a big city with such a nice scenery. I'm hoping the scenery actually works. I have TAXI2GATE Seattle-Tacoma 4v4, and I am using something that I hopefully works. Dr. Dusovievsky designs Seattle-X. I don't have any of the Boeing fields and stuff, but I really want them, but I'm just not sure if I will fly there enough. And obviously, as I said before, starting this descent, I'm using, I think it is Pacific Northwest, or maybe Pacific Fjords from ORBX. I'm not sure. I use all of them, obviously, but I don't know. Can't remember what area this is in. Okay, approaching 7,000 now, pretty soon. The flap limit for 1 is 265, so we can actually go flap 1 now. That's absolutely the limit. That means I want to slow down now to 210. Do some parking brake, yeah, that's working. Do the speed brakes. Very nice to see the reflection here in the engine. It's really good livery, this one. Can't remember who it is from, but you find it at Avsim. Nice, speed is coming back very nicely. And we are aiming spot on Anvil now. Can probably start to look out the window. No, we can't see anything yet. As you can see now, the diamonds are now starting to slowly come up. Can rearm the speed brake. And now when we hit anvil, we will, you know, anvil, we will. Ole, you're so funny. Then we will aim for around 180. Slow down to our fixed speed of, what was it, 141 plus 5? Yes, 141 plus 5. We will, oh, it's freezed again. There you go. Then we will have this 141 plus 5, so it's 146 at Sodo, and then we will just glide it to the runway. And we don't have any traffic today, so nothing is going to stand in our way. Because that's probably my main issue with Spy, that it just uses 500 years to vacate the runway. But I digress. Right, let's set flap 5 then. That's cabin ready. You better be. Buckle up. There's the airport route there. And unfortunately the city isn't working today. I might have installed it incorrectly. Maybe it just pops up now. Who knows? No. Okay. That's a little bummer, but really recommend that if you want that, even though you can't see it now. So actually it's quite nice though that now we will probably had like horrible FPS if it had the whole city. So consider it a nice touch. Okay, turning on to base leg now. 180. We can do flap 10 and gear out. Now we are a tad high, obviously, but luckily we will correct that now. We are going directly now into Sodo. We can do flap 20. Roger. Arm the approach button. Flap 25. And we can go down to 146. That's the localizer captured. And we have glide stop here. And the speed is coming now down quite nicely. And you know what? Let's just take the autopilot out now. And reset it to 5000 for the climb. You can do 164. Then I have manual control. And let's also take out the auto throttle. So I have the full control of my airplane. Still too high. But we will correct that by taking the power back and then just kind of dive. You see now we have so much drag from the landing gear and the flaps that we can actually dive. Now we have to be careful not to fall too much down, as we did now. So now we will correct that. Aim for 2 whites and 2 reds.
500.
Luckily the TAXI2GATE feeder is working, so something is working.
400.
Looking good.
300. 200.
Decision made.
Continue.
100.
50,
50.
30,
40.
20,
30.
Flare.
20.
And we're down. Speed brakes are up. Reversers are green. Diesel. 80 knots. Manual braking. And we shall vacate now to the left.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on behalf of the captain and the entire crew, I'd like to welcome you to London's Heathrow Airport Terminal.
No, it's not London Terminal 5. Damn it.
Please do remain seated, leaving your seatbelt securely fastened until
Okay, let's clean up a little bit. Flight directors off. Auto brakes to off. Off with all the landing lights, all that. Take that one off. XPDR. And take off all of the weather stuff. There you go. Now, let's try GSX now. Okay, so far so good. We will use the satellite, the South Satellite complex. So we will go to Sierra Gates and use Sierra 10. No. Crossing the runway, no one's here obviously. We can start the APU. And Sierra 10 is right over here. Yeah, 9 hours to short flight.
Thank you and a very good afternoon.
Take up all the flaps before we come to the stand. And off with the taxi light. And here is our stand. I can feel that the airplane is quite light, just rolls pretty quick. The centerline numbers inside the airport. Good job, GSX. I think that will do. Yeah. Parking brake is set. APU is running. And we can shut off the engines. With a block time of 9 hours and 31 minutes. That's awesome. Off with the beacon, off with the seatbelts, and no smoking to auto. And we can leave all this stuff for now. There is solar jetways here apparently. Hopefully they will work. Can I just go through the terminal? Here we go. Okay, let's request. Here, you see now we were lucky. It just selected the boarding out of the box. We will do this. confirm, and it works. Don't see that often when stuff works in the sim, but that's how it is. Let's open some doors so the people can get out and rush to the Boeing museum to see all the stuff. That's something I would love to do if I'm getting to Seattle. And then we can shut off smart cars. We landed with 193 FPM, so that's rather okay, I guess. And yeah, finish and file apart. Okay, we'll get you out of the way. Just gonna check that everything is okay here now. Yeah, we will do this later. You won't bore you with that. Open left entry 1. Oh, okay, that's realistic. There you go. Okay, everybody, that's it. Welcome down to Seattle-Tacoma after a flight time of 9 hours and 31 minutes. Quite a nice flight. I think this is my final US airport that I've flown with for VBA. So now I've like filled up the whole continent, so I'm really happy with that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it, and sorry for not using DSX or Spy, and that the Seattle City didn't work. But I think it was a nice flight. So throw a comment in the comment section of what you liked and didn't like. Give me a like or dislike. It's all up to you. And then until next time, maybe in a new video of full flight commentary or whatever it is, I say goodbye. Again, thank you for watching and have a great weekend on.